This is Twit.
So as a CEO, what do you think, like a company like Best Buy, who we've seen really go through a downward spiral, I think, and not really embrace some of the things that I think could have been a huge opportunity for them. I think it was only last year that they even price matched. So what would you do differently if you were the CEO of Best Buy?
Well, first, the question to ask is always, if a company didn't exist, would you have to invent it? Well, if Best Buy did not exist at this point, truth is, if JCPenney did not exist at this point, would there be a need to invent them? If Amazon didn't exist at this point, or Walmart or something, somebody would need to invent them. But I'm not sure. Best Buy, I think, could have. They probably should have focused more on their online strategy. I think that and just early shifted. Well, I don't know their game well enough, but I do think that they were not as capable in online as they should have been, and that was, business people always love to complain about commodity. My markets, my industry's gotten commodified. Like, that's awful. Well, first you got to remember, somebody figured out how to decommodify water. Perrier is water, and yet they decommodified water, and they've done it with all kinds of brands of water. So if you can decommodify water, you can decommodify anything. But in addition, it's the internet is even if it is a commodity market, you can, if you're the low-cost operator, you can clean up in a commodity market if you can keep your costs down. So if you've got a 5 or 10% cost advantage on everybody else, well, the way to do that is I think that with computers and electronics and such, it's I wouldn't want to own a store. I don't see the advantage anymore of owning a store. That's so commodified. People can do all their research online. In fact, the last time I was in a retail store years ago was Best Buy. I'm going to retail stores, and I remember, I shouldn't slag any individual's business, but let me just it struck me the difference between the consumer experience shopping online, how much information if you want to buy a new DVD player, you can take 10 minutes, become an expert in DVD players, get all this comparison shopping done, get all this information, make an informed decision. Try going into a meat space store and doing the same thing. And for any sort of technical product, it just doesn't make sense. So I guess my advice would have been to focus much more on their internet strategy. I think that there were some very large retailers who played the game smart and decided, like Walmart and Target, who didn't rush into the internet. They hung back and they waited to see what worked, and then they got serious starting around 04, 05 about the internet, and they developed brick and click strategies, and they worked very well. But the companies that waited longer than that, and I think that Walmart and Target only got away with waiting as long as they did because they were already Walmart and Target. The companies that waited longer than that to get their internet strategy together really suffered, and I think Best Buy is a good example.